And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to the 25 Marketing Mastermind. So good of you to join us today. I'm feeling a lot better. I've had the flu for about 2 weeks now. I know Jamie's had the flu. Pops and Katie are running a bit late, but we've got a really cool jam-packed session today. Jamie, how you doing, man? I know you're not feeling all that well, but how things go with you, buddy?
I'm doing a lot better than I was Saturday. I popped on the workshop for a little while and I was still feeling kind of bad on Saturday. And actually, I felt bad because I missed most of the workshop. I think I popped on for about an hour, but I started feeling really good yesterday and I feel even better today. So I think I'm just about kicked it. So I hope so.
Oh yeah, I know. And wow, just in time for the bell, we have Katie here, and I'm sure Pops is going to join anytime soon. Katie, how was the walk?
It was good. I got to help Pop log in.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, see, we have Robert is on the chat at the moment. How you doing there, buddy? How are things going? I know Robert's been having a lot of problems with spammers out there who just keep sending you links all the time and wanting you to join a business. And it just is annoying when people are sending you links all the time and just say, hey, join. It's annoying as hell. But hopefully we're going to straighten a lot of that stuff out in today's session as well. But we've got a really, really interesting session on today. I know that last week we skipped because well, I was sick. Well, I was sick, but I couldn't get on because my internet was down. And fortunately, Jamie was able to rescue my Hangout by logging in and sorting out everything on his side. So I'm really thankful for that. And thank you so much, man. You really, really helped me out there. And you know, there are going to be days like that. I know once I even overslept and missed the entire Hangout once, but it's only happened once. In the 4 years I've been online, I've only missed a Hangout once, and that was because I overslept. But yeah, it's kind of like the fear. That is like one of the worst fears I can ever have. You know, like when you wake up, when I was working and you wake up and you think, gee, what time is it? And you've got that feeling in your stomach that's like, gee, I'm missing work or something and I'm not getting paid. That's a horrible feeling. But yes. So hey, Maria's on. Maria, awesome that you joined us. That's cool that you're on as well. So what I'm going to do right now is, before we actually get to Katie, I'm just going to give everyone a quick summary of what we've actually been doing on these Hangouts. And the series that we've been covering is how to start a business from scratch. Now, if you're joining for the first time and you want to kind of know where we are, we're doing this series about how to start a business from scratch. And in the first part of the series, we talked about having your why, your reason why you want to start a business. Because if you really don't know why you want to start a business, you really don't have a lot of drive. People think they want to start a business, but they don't really want to. They kind of want to, but they don't really want to. And the people say, I want to start a business because I want to have lots of money, or because I want to have fancy cars, and I want to live in a fancy house. But ultimately, when it comes down to the fact why you actually want to start a business online, it has to be a lot deeper. And I know that for myself, it boils down to the fact that I never want to be dependent on anyone else for my future. And I'm sure that Jamie has something inside of him that keeps him going. But having a why is incredibly important. It isn't the only reason as to why you start a business. And that's why we went on to the second part of the series, and that was knowing your passion. All right, you've got to find out what it is you're actually passionate about. There's no good in starting a business and then doing something you're not really passionate about. So as an example, if you are a fitness instructor and that is something you're really passionate about, the one thing you could really do online is to actually start a business online about keeping fit, eating right, doing weights or running or keeping a schedule and blogging about that, making videos about that. That is, if you've got a passion about something and you're really interested, that's going to keep you going. And I know that one of my passions is I love mindset. I love psychology. I've written a book on personalities. It's something I really, really enjoy. And I know that Jamie has a huge passion for computers, for networking. He's really into that sort of thing. And, that's something he focuses on, and that's part of his business, which he concentrates on. So that was the second thing. Then we spoke about the third part of your business. That was products. If you want to run an online business, you need to find out what products you want to sell online. So you need to go ahead and do homework. And one of the ways you can find out about finding products that you could sell as an affiliate is going on places like Amazon. Amazon have so many products that you can actually sell as an affiliate. And there are a myriad of websites out there where you can actually get on the website, become an affiliate for the website, and sell things that you could earn a commission on. There's ClickBank, there's ClickSure, there's JVZoo. There are so many websites out there where you can actually sell products that are connected to your passion. All right. And, that's something you need to concentrate on. Now, today, what we're going to be talking about in starting your own business, and that is branding. Okay. Branding is, I would guess, one of the most important thing, and the thing that really will separate you as an entrepreneur online. Branding is so important, and I really want to talk to you guys about 5 points about branding. Okay, and we're going to be discussing this inside of our group. And I want to talk about the first thing about why it is so important to brand. And I want to ask Jamie, if you wouldn't mind talking a little bit about this as well, and why he feels it's important to brand as a marketer online.
I think it's important because people don't care about what your products are. They don't care about what your services are. They care about you. I mean, or they really don't care about you. They want to buy from somebody that they know, like, and trust. I mean, when you go to, say buy a new car, for instance, you're going to buy from someone that or know at the dealership, a previous salesman or something like that. If you don't have a previous salesman, then, if a salesman comes up and starts hammering you, trying to show you something you don't want, then you're not going to be interested in buying from him. You're going to want to deal with somebody that is interested in solving the problem you want, what kind of vehicle you want, what kind of price range you want to be in, and what kind of payment you want to be in. So you're going to connect with that person who's trying to solve the problem that you have in buying a vehicle. And that's how, the marketing system works. You want to solve people's problems, and when you're solving people's problems, people come to you. When people have problems with their blogs. Bob's one of them in the chat. He had problems with his blog. They come to me because I have a lot of experience in blogs, and usually they can show me their back office or show me their setup, and I can spot it right away what the problem is. And people know that I'm good at blogs, and so they come to me for help. And that's the way all our marketing systems work. You want to build up the reputation of being an expert in your field. I'm an expert in computers and IT and stuff like that, and people know that. So they come to me for help when they need help. I have a pretty good client base in my computer repair business at home because I do good work, I give people good prices, and I get repeat business from word of mouth because people know, like, and trust me. You're muted, Dave.
Yeah, I totally agree. Sorry about that. And I wanted to say that, the thing about Jamie is that I know that Jamie has a skill in in blogging. He's really good at that particular skill. It's something he's worked at for a long time. So when I have a problem with blogging, I instantly think about Jamie, because I connect Jamie with blogging because he talks about it a lot. He teaches about it a lot. And that's the importance of it. But what I want to really focus on here, and this is, we're coming to my first point about why branding is so important. But before I carry on, I want to give a shout out to Joe and Andrew, who have just joined us in the chat. So awesome that you are here. Yes, we are sounding so much better today, but we're not out of the woods yet. Things are a little bit, we're just kind of getting over it. You know, I'm still gunked up and everything, but getting back to my main point. Why we brand. See, here's the thing. You can be a salesman or you can be a brander. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a salesman. I mean, I'm a salesman. Jamie's a salesman. Katie's a salesperson, whatever the right word is. I'm not trying to be PC here, but we sell things. But in my opinion, the first thing you want to be is a brander. You see, here's the difference. As a brander is somebody who goes deep and doesn't really go wide. You see, you can really sell to a lot of people if you want to, but you're not going to keep having those connections. But if you go deep in the sense that you start building connections with people, that's when people start to remember you, all right? And you can see this everywhere. When I make my videos online and I talk about solving a problem or giving value, one of the things I say in my video is, hi, this is Dave Reineke from davereineke.com, and I want to talk to you about. And I always start my videos the same way. I always talk about me, Dave Reineke, or I spell my name. Diane Hockman does the same thing. She says Diane Hockman, and she spells Hockman in case people have trouble with the spelling. But she keeps branding, because here's the thing. Once you hear my message, or once you hear Jamie's message, or Katie's message, or Pops' message, and my brand of my name has stuck in your head, the thing that you will probably do is go on Google and type in Dave Reineke, or Jamie Shaw, or Katie Stage, or Chris Stage. You will type that into Google. And if you go now and type in Dave Reineke, Dave Reineke, R-E-I-N-E-K-E, you will see that I take up pages and pages on Google on the first 3 pages. Why is that? It's because I have made so much content. I have put out so much information about myself that when somebody goes looking for things that I have done, they start developing a relationship with me without me even knowing about it. And then whenever they want to get involved in something online, something to do with mindset, they will always remember my name, because I have branded myself with Dave Reineke. Now, I will say this, and this is the lesson I learned a while back, by the fact that people used to know me as, and still do know me, as the 24-hour marketer. I don't brand myself like that anymore, because I have recently learned that if I call myself the 24-hour marketer and I want people to join me in any endeavor I do, I don't want people to think that they have to work 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, non-stop. But the interesting thing is that even though I have painted myself with the name, the 24-hour marketer, people remember that. And if they ever want to remember me again, they type that in Google and they still find me. And the only reason they find me is because I've branded myself. I have got people to remember who I am. And so I want people to go deep. I want them to start building a connection with me. I don't want to, on every single video I make, tell somebody about how to solve a problem and then put the CTA at the end of it all the time, because then I just come across as a cheesy salesman. You don't want to always do that at the end of every video, is to put a call to action all the time, because then every time somebody sees you, they're just going to remember you as somebody who's saying, Buy now, we'll confirm it. Visa, MasterCard's accepted. You want to start building a connection with people. Do you understand what I'm saying, Jamie? Does that make sense?
Sorry, Dave, I was in the chat. I didn't hear you.
That's all right. If you no, that's fine. Katie, did you hear me? Or were you in the chat as well? Or was Katie still working with Pops? That's fine. But does everybody in the chat understand what I'm saying? All right, give me a hell yeah if you understand what I'm saying, please, in the chat.
Oh, I see what you're chatting about. It. Yeah, I mean, I use my name brand myself, and one of the things that I had a hard time with, I mean, I go by Jamie Shaw, that's my nickname, and so I had to use the name I was given, James J. Shaw. So that's what I use to brand myself with is my given name, because Jamie Shaw, she's a prolific big author, and she has several books published on Amazon. So it's very hard for me to outrank her in the search. So
I'm sure. I mean, that is a problem. I understand that, and that's why. Now, look. I mean, I will say this: if you are going to, and this actually comes into my next point that I want to talk about. I don't want to cut you off, Jamie. If you want to carry on saying something. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Go ahead. I was just saying that, that's why I use my given name, because every video I make, I assign both names to it, James J. Shaw and Jamie Shaw, and I'm starting to rank underneath her, but I can't outrank her.
I see, and and this is the same. It's like with Katie Stage. If you look for Katie Stage, you'll find her on Google, and this actually brings me to my second point. I want to talk about how do you actually go about building a brand for yourself. And I know a lot of people want to ask this question, and they spend a lot of time on it. But I want to break this down into simple steps so that it isn't so overwhelming and you don't need to worry about it too much. And the first thing is this, all right? Don't worry too much about a brand name for yourself. Don't think of something that I used to do. As I said, I called myself the 24-hour marketer because I wanted to be called myself that, even though it's stuck pretty well. But I'm actually branding myself as my name, Dave Reineke, all right? And I'm spelling it out every time. But stick with your name. And if you do have a popular name, change it a little bit so that it can be seen on Google, where you can actually see it. Like Gary Vaynerchuk is a brand, all right? And if you're going to go with something easy to remember. I have this argument or this conversation with a lot of people in South Africa, because people in South Africa have the weirdest names, especially from an American point of view, because we've got names like Mbeki. We've got names like Mbeki and I'm just trying to Bongiwe and Simpiwe and names that are not that easy to remember. And so in that particular case, I would encourage you to go with a name that's easy to remember, not because we want to change your name, but because you want people to remember who you are. All right, if you've got a complicated name, how is anybody going to remember that? So I would say start with your name as a basic brand. All right, and I mean James Shaw, that's actually rolls with the tongue quite nicely. Katie's got Katie Stage. But she knows that a lot of people misspell her name. So that she's actually bought Katie Stage, K-A-T-I, Katie Stage, then KT Stage, as in K-A-T-I-E stage.com. And I think she has another one called catherinestage.com. But she's covering all her bases. So when somebody wants to find her, she's got herself on Google. And this is what I would say to people. Don't worry too much about a complicated name. Just get something out there that's easy to remember. And that's what you need to worry about. Don't worry about a subtext or a subline that a lot of marketers have. Like I know we know of Desmond Soon, right? And he's got the subtext that says turning setbacks into comebacks. Don't worry about that. Don't try and come up with a clever name. Start using your name as a brand. And this is important, and this is the next point that I want to bring up. It's going to take time for you to come up with a brand that you can work on and a subtext to your brand. That it's going to take time. Actually, it's taken me, 3.5 years to come up with, to stick with DaveReineke.com when I stuck with the 24-hour marketer for such a long time. And now I've had to change it up because I spoke to somebody who took me down a peg and said, no, just stick with your name. That's okay. We learn. Don't worry too much about it. You just got to come up with something where somebody can find you. And when you are blogging, or when you are making videos, or when you're doing posts, remember that your brand, your name is the thing that people remember whenever you're talking about something that you are connected with. Jamie, you want to say something?
Yeah. While we're in the topic of branding, you want to concentrate on answering 3 questions. And somebody's here, and that's why my dogs are going nuts. There's 3 questions you want to answer, and you need to be able to answer these. And question number 1 is, who am I? And the second question is, what do I stand for? And the third question is, who do I serve? If you can answer those 3 questions, then you're on your way to branding yourself and defining your market, who you want to market to, and finding the people you want to market to. You have to be able to answer those 3 questions. If you can't answer them, then you need to refocus on what you're trying to do and what your market is and what your brand is.
Yeah, it really is, it's important. And as we were, that's important, and that's why we were talking about in the previous sessions that we were having in starting a business from scratch, that when it comes to the fact that you're doing something you're passionate about, this is about those points that you mentioned, Jamie, about who are you, what is your focus, and what do people want to. What are those points again? Say them again.
They are, wait for it. Number 1, who am I?
So who am I?
Number 2, what do I stand for?
What do I stand for?
And number 3 is, who do I serve?
Who do I serve? Yes, that is important, because it really is about integrity, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's about knowing what your principles are. And the thing is, if you don't have any principles or scruples, you're not going to get anywhere. If you don't stand for anything, you don't stand for anything. That is important in your brand. But don't worry too much about coming up with a clever name or a clever subtext, because as I was saying, as you market online over the years, what's going to happen is your audience, the people that you serve, are going to determine what it is that you actually do. So one of the things that I do online, and I found out through people telling me, is the fact that I like to respond to people as quickly as possible. So I get back to people as quickly as I can. I like to give people answers that are straightforward. I work for long periods of time. I put a lot of work into what I do, and that is the brand that I want to put out there, that people know who I am. And this is something that people get to know me for. One of Katie's strong points is the fact that, and this is part of her brand, is that she doesn't like leaving any affiliates behind. She wants to make sure that she gets people to move along with her. That is part of who she is as a person. And that's part of her brand. But she figured that out as she went along. She didn't spend an entire 4 months trying to come up with a perfect brand for herself. Because I think if you try and force it, it comes across as it's not authentic. It's conjured. It's not really who you are, and you really violate those principles of what Jamie was talking about, in the sense of your integrity. All right, you want to be true to yourself as you're working online. So that is really what I want everybody here to go away with. All right, so we have, let's see, we got Deirdre. Is it Deirdre? Yes, I'm getting that right. Welcome to the Hangout. It's so awesome of you to stop by and say hello. If you are watching this, please say hi in the comments. And if you have any questions, put them in there so we can address them. That'd be really cool. Is Katie all right? Is everything going all right? Okay. Is everything all right there, Katie? Is she there?
Can't hear her. She's muted.
Oh, she's muted. Okay. Wow. You know, one of the things that, you know, and guys, understand this is stuff that you can take away and start working on your business. Let's just say you're coming here for the first time and you want to know how you can actually start a business online. Well, we spoke about this in the beginning. If you understand that you really want to start a business because you know why you want to do it, all right? The second thing is that you have a passion for whatever it is that you are passionate about. If you have a passion for you know, being somebody who's into fitness, or somebody that you've dieted and you've lost a lot of weight, or perhaps you're into music, or perhaps you like building things. If you can identify what your passion is, then you can actually get stuck into starting your own business. And then thirdly, if you can find products where you can connect your passion to, you can become an affiliate for those products and start putting them up on your blog, on videos, doing reviews, and start earning commissions on those products on a very simple, basic level. All right? And then, of course, we're talking about here is branding yourself. What's going to happen over time is as you start working with people and as you start helping people, you're going to start figuring out what it is that you stand for, what it is, who you are as a person, and what kind of service you can deliver. Now, before we go any further here, let's see if Katie can actually hear us or see us, or is everything's going right there. No, we can't hear it. It's still muted.
You don't have your headphones plugged in, do you?
Yeah. What is going on?
Internet gremlins.
Oh, that's right. I'll call Deirdre D. That's right, D. Say hi to Laura Parrish for me if you see her. And Minnie's over there. I can see Pastor Jackie. Pastor Jackie. I'll say Pastor Jackie. I think we're going. We missed you guys in the workshop, by the way, for those of you who are on here. We had a really fantastic workshop. It was short but concise, right?
And what I got, just a short time I was on, looked like you guys were pretty intense going on, pretty intense discussion going on. So,
yeah, no, it was kind of evolving into a conversation, which is great. And you know, you guys, if you are not involved in this workshop, it's something you really want to be a part of. And this is where we all get together every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we discuss the problems and the successes we have. And we've also got to give a big congratulations to Portia, who made a sale the same day that she was on the workshop. You know, so she made a sale, and I know that Shumila has been absolutely killing it this week. So I know that she is in the bag there for Member of the Month that we are going to be handing out soon. So she's doing really well. Katie, do you want to reboot perhaps? Because we can't hear you at all. Oh, she's having tech issues. That's cool. So I would like to talk to everybody here about something, and this is something that I have with a lot of people who decide that they get in contact with me, and they say, Dave, I want to start a business online. I want to get things going. Can you please give me the information I need to get started online? And I will have a conversation with this person, and this happens like every day. I get this conversation with somebody. Somebody will talk to me and ask me this question, and I have this back and forth, and I give them information. But I've answered the question so many times that what I do is I have an entire video series of questions and answers that I give out to people about how they can actually get started. And I send this information out, and I say, take a look at this information and let me know what you think. And every single time the person gets back to me, most of the time it says, oh, I've had a look at that. When I know it isn't the case. I know they haven't looked at the information because it's nearly an hour of video footage that I've taken, and they've got back to me in 10 minutes. And a lot of the problem is when people want to start a business online, they don't really want to get involved with the work. They don't want to spend the time learning. Can you relate to that, Chane? Or anybody here on the chat?
Yeah, I can relate to that. Everybody wants a push button system. They're, when you tell them they have to work, they're like, what? That's why I'm trying to get out of my job so I don't have to work anymore. Well, you have to work in an online business too. It just don't fall into your bank account. I mean, you have to build a website. You have to build a funnel. You have to create content daily, in videos, blog posts, Facebook Lives, Facebook posts, or run Facebook ads, however you want to do it, however you want to market your products and services out there. You still got to do it. It's no different than owning a brick and mortar business. The only difference is you don't have inventory to stock. I mean, you're not going to, like Pat uses a great analogy, you're not going to buy a McDonald's franchise and just sell hamburgers. You want to sell the whole kit and caboodle, not just hamburgers and then add fries next week and sodas the next week. You got to sell it all at one time.
That's exactly right, man. And I get this all the time. Somebody will say, "Oh, you mean I'm going to pay money for this? So how much is it to get started?" And I tell people, if you can spend a couple $100 on your business every month, you can actually get going and starting to build a business online. They say, "No, I want to do it for free," and I want to pull my hair out. I don't have much of it left, but I want to pull my hair out, because at the end of the day, if you wanted to start just a regular business, you do have, just to keep your doors open, you probably have to come up with about $5,000 to pay your rent, pay electricity, pay the telephone bill, before you even sold anything. And in a typical business, you don't really make profit for about 2 to 3 years. So when somebody says they want to start a business online, and then you say you need to spend a couple $100 online a month on your business, they say, why? You say, because you need training, because you need a blog, because you need hosting, because you need capture pages, because you need an autoresponder, because you need to learn copyright skills, because you need to learn, you need to have a customer relationship manager. You need to have storage space. There are so many things that you need. Now, can you learn it all for free if you want to? Go ahead. But if you want to spend 20, 30 years trying to figure all of that stuff out by yourself because you want to learn code by yourself, you're still going to spend money. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get so frustrated trying to build a blog, and you're going to pull your hair out, and one day you're going to say, oh, the hell with this, and you're going to go online and you're going to pay somebody, I don't know, $500 to get your blog up. So you get your blog up. Now you're going to learn how to get content. Now you're going to go and you're going to buy a course to teach you how to do all of that. And you constantly have to pay somebody. Oh my goodness. I wish I had all the resources I had today.
Oh, I know, and what people don't understand is their job actually costs them money. I mean, I still work a full-time job. I spend $100 a week in gas. You know, when I was eating out, and I take my lunch now, but when I was eating lunch out every day, you know, $10 a day for lunch times 5 days a week, you know, that's $50 a week. That's $200 a month. That's $600 a month you can be putting into your business to work for yourself right now.
Exactly. You could probably save on what you spend on food, but you don't really think about it.
Right. I mean, the $200 a month that I'm save on lunches, that's what I use to invest in my Facebook paid advertising and buying courses, you know, when I want to buy a course, you know, so there's money out there. There's resources out there. You just have to be willing to invest in yourself to be able to go out and find the resources and do what you want to do.
Yeah, you know, and this whole thing about, you know, in a lot of ways, Jamie, I think that the society we live in today with instant gratification and things that happen on demand have just ruined entrepreneurs that want to just, you know, that they think for some reason that if they start a business that they can. I mean, what's the most typical question you get asked? If somebody says, like, how much is this a month? And you tell them how much they need to spend a month. I almost every single time somebody says to me, can I make the money back within the first month?
Yeah, that's a typical question I get. Can I make my money back in 10 days? Well, no. I said, my answer is you generally want to invest at least 6 months bare minimum into your business. And then you may see a return then. I mean, you may see a return tomorrow. It just depends how dedicated you are. But typically, I would say give 6 months to start seeing results.
And I mean, Shamana, who was on last week, said something that it just blew me away, that Shamana getting started for the first time in her family when nobody else has ever done it. She made a decision right from the get-go. And she said this, I'm going to spend a year learning this industry. I'm going to spend a year learning this industry, and then I'm going to start concentrating on earning. And look what's happened, right? I think she spent less time learning, and she started with our workshop. And within 6 or 8 months of getting to this whole process, now she's starting to make commissions. Now she's starting to make sales because she understands how the process worked. And all that investment that she had in the past spent in a year investing in a business has paid off, because now she is reaping the rewards of what she has learned. And I wish that when people start a business, that they could have this in their mind, that they could just learn everything for the first year. For the first year. Hell, I failed miserably for 7 years before I started to get my head right in the game. And only on the 8th year that I start thinking correctly, when I got plugged into the system that we are using today. I wish I had that 11 years ago. But I didn't, because I was trying to figure it out all by myself. But Shamana took it upon herself to follow people who were succeeding and to listen to what they're saying, and every week learning and taking in the information. And coming from a place where nobody in her family had ever had success online, now she is gaining success. She is selling products. She's earning a living online, which is an amazing feeling. And she's almost on her first level, which is incredible. I mean, that's just amazing. So Shamana, if you're watching this, you still blow me away, and I was just amazed by that. And I wasn't even there last week. I had to watch the recording.
And to see how much she's grown over the last year is simply amazing, being in the workshop, because I've got to see her, as well as Dave and Katie, we've got to see her personally transform into a shy, quiet, meek person, into, you know, a person that's doing a Facebook Live. I don't know if she's doing one every day or every other day, but she's consistently doing Facebook Lives all the time. So, you know, and I think she was scared to do videos when she first came in the workshop, wasn't she, Dave?
Yeah, she was. She was. She was scared to do videos. And in fact, I think most people here were. I mean, you were. I know Joe was a bit nervous. Most people, I think, were scared of doing video. But here's the thing. I mean, Shemaiah's just doing these lives like every day. And she's getting results because people are watching her and she's developing a brand. I guarantee you that her brand is forming. As she is working, her brand is forming. And in 6 months' time, she can look back at all the feedback she gets from everybody, and they can give her a bigger picture of what she can provide for people. And people get stuck on the small stuff. They get stuck on the tiny things like one of the things I got stuck on when I first got started, right, when I was failing miserably, Jamie, was I spent 3 months trying to find the perfect template for a website. Trying to find the perfect template. And then when I found that perfect template, I couldn't figure out how to use it. Now I wanted to integrate it into a WordPress website. And I couldn't get WordPress to work. So I tried Drupal. I couldn't get Drupal to work. So I tried another platform. And then I would have to compromise. And then I went back to the basics. And I wasn't willing to spend any money on any training because I just wanted to do everything and get everything done now. But now that I'm with a community of people, now that I'm surrounding myself with people like Jamie and with Robert and with Maria and with Andrea and with Minnie and people that are watching this right now and are interacting. Maria, now that I'm surrounding with people who are having success and are involved with the system that helps them out, I tell you something, if I had started this 10 years ago, I would have been way ahead of where I am right now. But I was just too stubborn. And I think people have to learn that, Jamie. What do you think? I mean, people have to learn that, maybe.
I think they have to learn that too. You have to learn to get out of your own way, and that's something a very important step that I had to learn. I had to learn to get out of my own way. And as far as your template goes, I have a solution for that now. I just bought some tools for my the web design part of my business, and now if I don't have the perfect template that I want, I just build the perfect template.
Exactly. There's a really good. And I think there's a guy I always refer to inside of the workshop, and his name is Scott Adams. And if you guys don't know who Scott Adams is, he's a creator of Dilbert. He's also a hypnotist, but he's a master communicator. And he did this hangout. He did this hangout or this talk on how to fail at almost anything and still succeed. And it really is a combination of failing at a lot of things and building. They're kind of building blocks. They're building blocks. So when you fail at something and it doesn't work out, you can come back to it later. And you fail at something else and you come back to it later. And then finally, it starts to all accumulate and it builds up to something that really does make sense. But the key is to carry on, and the key is not to give up. So many people give up. So many people give up. They just think it's too hard. I mean, hell, Jamie, if this was easy, everyone would do it, right?
Oh man, I've banged my head against the computer so many times. I've wanted to throw my computer out the window, and I work on a computer every day, and that's what a lot of people understand. I'm a tech guy, computer is my life. I work on a computer every day, and anything techie I can figure out. But when it comes to marketing, I was lost, and I could not figure out my way. It wasn't until I started investing in my mindset, investing in people that wanted the same thing. I met Pat Patterson in an event. After following him, I met Dave and Katie, and they all helped chip away the rough edges and to grow into the person that I am today. And people don't understand when they fail. I mean, you're going to fail. It doesn't matter what you do in life, you're going to fail. But are you going to just lay there and take it, or are you going to get up and you're going to try again? And I hear that question a lot. Well, I failed in business in the past, so I'm scared to get started. And they don't say scared, but you can tell in the way they frame the question that they're scared to get started because they may fail again. Well, life is going to have failures, and if you're afraid to fail, then you're not going to go anywhere in life. You have to be afraid to fail and get back up, brush yourself off, and go at it again.
Evander Holyfield.
Yeah.
Evander Holyfield won the world title 4 times. He came back 4 times, and he was talking about the fact that his very first fight, his big deal fight, he fought and he lost, and he wanted to give up. He actually wanted to quit, and his mother came back to him and said, "You don't quit. Holyfields don't quit." He says, "Don't you dare quit." So he says, "Oh, okay, fine." So he went back and he fought again, and he lost again. The same guy, he lost again, and he didn't want to say anything, but his mother found out again, and she went back and nailed him and said, "You're not quitting, are you?" And he says, "No, Mama, I'm not. And he goes back and he fights and he wins. And then when he won, his mother says to him, "You want to quit?" And he says, "Hell no, I beat him." And here's the thing, that a lot of people, they'll try something and they'll fail. And they'll get up again and they'll try again and they'll fail again. And believe me, that step from the first time you go to the second time you go seems the longest distance you've ever taken. It seems so distant and so long and so hard that you have to travel. And very often it's the third or fourth or fifth time where you actually start to see success in your life. You know that Colonel Sanders was rejected 600 times. It was just under, I think, something like 600 times before a restaurant decided to take on his recipe at the age of 60. Can you imagine if he quit like after 30? We wouldn't have KFC today. I think it's 600 times. I might have that number wrong, but I know it's a huge number. It's a massive number. And the differences between you keeping on despite all odds, all being like everybody else, and deciding, "I'm not going to do this anymore." And that's the difference between people who see success and don't. Because I guarantee you, somebody who has made it big will tell you how many times they've failed over and over and over again. But the fact is they just never gave up. And it mostly because, number one, they knew why they wanted to do it. And 2, they had a really big passion for why they wanted to do it. So they enjoyed their work. They enjoyed it. And they understood what they wanted.
Yeah, Katie messaged me. They're having internet problems, so that's why they're not on. So she apologizes, and I told her she was due. You had internet problems. I had internet problems. They were due because they haven't had any for a while. So
yeah, that's going to do fine.
You can bring up all kinds of successful people that they're successful now, but they failed many times. Like Thomas Edison. What he failed, inventing the light bulb 200 times or something like that. One of the greatest basketball players of all time, Michael Jordan. He got cut from his 8th grade basketball team because he wasn't good enough. If he would have just quit then and there, we would have never had a Michael Jordan. And some of the biggest names in the world, Steve Jobs. How many times did he fail at creating a computer before he launched Apple computers? I mean, he started out of a garage. Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of Harvard University to start Facebook. And look at it now. What is it, a $1 billion company? You can't tell me he didn't fail writing the logarithm several times If you watch the movie, it says he did. So, but every great success story had to fall on their face before.
And it's a big failure.
Yeah, they had to fall on their face before they reached success. Every marketer, every big marketer. You think Diane Hockman didn't fall on her face? I listened to her on the way home tonight. She scrubbed floors with a mop and bagged groceries just to make ends meet before she made it big. I mean,
yeah, I pump myself out for work. I demean myself by going to my buddies and saying, "Please give me anything you can, so that I can earn some money, so I can just keep doing this." You know, the stuff that I did, and you know, because I'm not, you know. And here's the thing, Jamie, I could never tell anybody here what they need to do to succeed, because it's a conversation you got to have with yourself. It's a conversation you're going to have with yourself. You know, one of the things, and I'll tell you this much, when it really started to make sense for me that this could actually happen, that I could actually see a success come out of the other side, in my mind, I made a decision that I was going to work harder than anybody else that I knew around me. I was going to work harder than anybody else. I was going to make sure that I was going to, because when I first started, I was going to upload videos, and I was just going to do it with a bad connection, And I would upload 10, 20, 30 videos a day. Now, when I think about the amount of work I put into my business when I first got started, I have so many videos out there. I have lost all the accounts, and I couldn't find them if you wanted me to. I don't know where they are. I don't know what they are, but I've got thousands of videos out there because I was so desperate. Because I had a strategy, and I just kept on, and I kept on, and I kept on, and I wouldn't give up. And I outpassed every single person on my list. Every single person that was around me, I outperformed every one of them. And you need to have that conversation in your head that says, I am going to stand out. I am going to work harder. I am going to make this work. And that's what you need to do. And I cannot convince you any more than that. Because I made a decision. You know, for me, if I'm going to spend $200 on my business every month, that's not $200 for me. That's like $2,500 for me. That's what it's like for me. In a lot of cases, $200 is a salary in my country. Wow, that was loud. But that's the importance of sticking with it. So I hope you guys get some inspiration from this, and I hope that we've jazzed you up. And we want to help you. We want to help you with your business. And if you really are serious about getting started, I want to encourage you to take a look at the button below this video that says Get Started Now. And you can get started now with the same system that we're involved in. That's going to teach you everything you need to know about getting your business going online. All right. And if a guy from South Africa can do this, and a guy from, what state do you live in?
I live in Illinois.
Guy from Illinois can do this, and Katie can do this, and Pops can do this. Anybody and everybody, and most of the people on this that are watching right now can do this. I promise you, there's no difference between me and Jamie other than the fact that we live geographically different parts of the world. And other than the fact, if you live in North Korea, you might have a problem, right? But other than that, you can make this happen. And this is not hype. We're not selling hype, right, Jamie? This is not hype. We're not telling you you're going to be rich in a week or a month. Or I'm telling you, this is going to be hard work. This is really hard work, but it can be done. And if you're not afraid of hard work, which most people say they're not, until they get started, right? Until they get started, then you start to see the weeds from the then you start to see people scatter. But if you're consistent, you can absolutely make this work. I'm going to give you the last word here, Jamie.
Yeah, and it's gonna take hard work, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't know everything there is to know about marketing or blogging or anything else. Dave doesn't know everything there is to know about all of it either. Katie doesn't know everything. Pops doesn't know everything. We all may know a lot, but we don't know everything, and that's what our workshop is for. Because if you're struggling, we plug you into our workshop. You get questions answered live right there in person. If I can't answer it, Dave can answer it. If Dave can't answer it, Katie can answer it. If Katie can't answer it, Pops, you can answer it. Or even one of the other people in the workshop can answer it. There's always somebody that has an answer. Or if we can't find, if they don't have an answer, we'll find an answer for you and help you. Katie's motto is not to leave anybody behind in our workshop, and that holds true to all of us. We want to help everybody. This workshop has created great results. Maria's growing into a leader from this workshop. Shamela's getting leads and sales from this workshop. Sonia's getting leads and sales from this workshop. Joe's getting leads and sales from this workshop. I've gotten leads and sales. Portia's getting leads and sales from being in this workshop. Takia, I think she's got some leads and sales from this workshop. There's many people in the workshop. I think Katie said we had an 80% success rate, and that's from us helping each other. And we're always there to help. I mean, I was sick all week. I did Dave's Hangout Monday night. I was sick the rest of the week. I mean, Thursday or Friday, I was throwing my guts up because I was so sick, because I found out I was allergic to the codeine in the cough medicine I was taking. And I slept 15 hours Friday. I got up Saturday morning to a message from Dave. And I told him I was still sick. He's like, buddy, take tonight off. I don't want you to be here. You need to take some time off. He's been on me for about a month that I need to take some time off. And what I do, I come on the workshop anyway. Even though I was sicker than a dog, I still showed up because I'm dedicated to the workshop, because it produces results. So if you need help, we're there to help you. Our workshop will help you. We're all there to help you.
That's right. We all, the one thing that we hold each other, it's weird though, because we hold ourselves up. We hold ourselves up to a higher standard, each of us. And it's true. I've been telling Jamie for ages now, just take some time off, Don't worry about it all the time. But he gets on anyway because he wants to push through. He wants to be the person that shines. We've got to do this, and where you're going to be in 5 years' time. Are you still going to be here in 5 years' time? Or you're going to be gone like everybody else? And don't tell me you're going to be committed for a year, because I've seen people commit for 6 months and they leave. They commit for a year and they leave. They commit for 2 years and they leave. I want the people that are going to be committed no matter what. You take a look at Lisa Torres. She failed for 17 years. She made $23 or something. 17 years. And she never gave up. And now she is a 6 or 7-figure earner because she just never gave up. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes. You just got to keep showing up. One of the things that I say to everybody on my team is that you need to be involved in training. You need to be involved with running your own hangouts, running your own training, doing it all the time. And I show up every single week to do this because I am committed. I am committed to my business and I'm serious about it. And if I miss it, I really feel bad. I feel terrible, but I keep coming back. I guess it wasn't the last word. Mine was the last word here, Jamie. But I want to encourage everybody to come back next week for the 5th part of the series about how to start your business from scratch. Hopefully you've taken away something about branding. And what I want you to understand about branding is that you've got to get people to remember who you are. and to be your authentic self, as Jamie was talking about. That's what's important. Don't worry too much about the message at first. As you grow and as you learn and as you get feedback, you'll figure that out as you go. With that being said, you have a great evening. It's 3 o'clock in the morning here, so I'm going to go to bed as soon as I'm finished this. And don't forget, on Wisdom Wednesday with Pat Patterson, and Jamie's got his hangout on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He'll be interviewing, can I say it? He'll be interviewing Joe Whistler. And so you want to be ahead of that. And don't forget, Maria's going to hang out on Tuesday tomorrow. Maria and
Sonia,
goodness, what the heck happened? Anyway, anyway, but we hope you have a fantastic time. And I also want to say this, guys, and I want to end on this note. You know, it's really great to be able to build your own business and to be able to earn yourself a living. But one of the best ways you can actually grow is by giving back. And I want to suggest that you start giving back. Find a charity. One of the charities that I'm going to be taking on for myself is St. Jude's Hospital for kids. I want to start giving to that. And I want to actually put it up on this Hangout page for next week, so we can encourage people to give and to help people who are less fortunate than us, because that really helps with being an entrepreneur. When you are helping other people, that takes it to another level. And I'm not saying this because I'm not earning any money from this. I'm just telling you that help the kid in need, help somebody, and start giving and start helping other people when you can. You have a great evening. We will catch you next week. God bless. See you next week, same time. Cheers. And if you're on the workshop for Saturday, we'll see you then. Cheers.